Welcome to everyone to our workshop going over open source tools and creative project workflows. So let's kind of dive right into it without kind of getting too technical at first. We'll keep it jargon free and as concise as possible to get you guys as many hand-on tools as we can. First off, hello everyone. Welcome to today's workshop where we'll be going over and diving into the world of open source AI development, large language model development as well, detailing some tools, workflows, and file formats as well. So we'll be going over H2O GPT, some tools like Comfy UI, quant models, the difference between GGUF files and GGML formats, the benefits of using the precursor, current hardware requirements for running optimal personal assistants from your computer, both practice and operational. And so let's kind of go into it. First, let's break down how we fit everything into a creative process and how we organize our workflows. We'll be getting you tools to download onto your own devices. First, let's do an introduction. Myself, I'm Marcus Workman, Head of Operations, Growth and Development at our startup called Project Lazarus, where we focused on community-based applications and learning tools that operate on the Bitcoin network, similar to interact to earn experiences. What we try to do is we combine tools like Canvas and infrastructural tools with on the Bitcoin network to incentivize students to interact with their classes, other peers, etc. For more on the creative side, I'm a founder of Off the Map Entertainment, where we build audio reactive city scale installations with AI and large language models. So we use tools like Touch Designer, Blender to project 3D point cloud art onto walls and whatnot. They're AI generated. Some of them are both human and AI codependent. So we'll use tools like Touch Designer with keypads to auto-generate image filters and whatnot to create something really fun. So let's jump into kind of what we got lined up. Much closer. Oh, okay, I got you. All right, there we go. Hopefully it's not too loud. For the agenda today, we'll be going over understanding H2O GPT. We'll be demystifying some of the natural language processing magic, so to speak, the things that make it work. We'll be going over Comfy UI as well, taking a tour of the application that has been made to make AI development and workflows a breeze. Comfy UI is probably one of the most popular tools to use for creating workflows and streamlining text to video, image to video, any type of large language model generation that you want to do from your computer without interacting with GPT or any public model. We'll also be going over cool little projects that the community has developed that aren't as big as the other two, such as text generation web UI, where you'll be able to see how we can talk to our own large language model from our computer, interacting with Llama CPP, and then a digested quantized model that we can run, a very small parameter model where you can run off of a computer that runs an NVIDIA GPU card. I'm not sure which one this was, and this thing is less than like a 2060 in here. It's less than like a 40 in here. I forgot what model, but it runs very well. We'll be able to go into everything later on. Another real-world application or tool we'll be going over is Stability AI, one of the main competitors in developing workflows and tools that I would say that we as artists create and use for making art, making applications, making agents, so to speak. A lot of these terms I don't want to get too ahead of myself because the idea of AI is hyped up a lot. We'll be able to go into here and see how it is in practice. So the idea of having an entirely autonomous agent isn't there yet. Of course, we have tools here. If we combine them, they would be able to autonomously, control my laptop and whatnot. But let's let's not get too far ahead. So first, for everyone at home, we have HDO is our first project. So we'll kind of just break down what it is and why it matters, along with how to install it. So if you want, you can access this PowerPoint at home. We have the link available, and for everyone in house today, we also have a QR code available, and we'll be going through very quickly how to do a one-click installer for HDO. If you want something a little bit more complex, you can manually change things around. Otherwise, let's kind of jump into it. Now, changing tabs has been very scary so far, so I'll try it, see if I can do it flawlessly. Okay. All right, it's still up there. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just pulling up the GitHub and then we can walk through it.
Probably not going to show up there.
Okay.
Probably going to need to end the PowerPoint.
This one? I can always. Okay, cool. And then reselect the screen for screen share. Okay, cool. See, I'm glad I showed everyone the QR code before and the link. So everyone at home, you have access to this PowerPoint. If there's a password on it, a password lock on it, it is capital A anything, 123 exclamation mark. So you'll be able to have access to this presentation and access HOGPT. I'm trying to see if I can stream this.
First, try to put on the TV.
Okay. Ooh.
Getting it to recognize the TV.
Um,
You're just trying to get it to look at a website cover.
yeah, just the GitHub for H2O.
I'm just have it on the monitor. You could share to the stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to help with getting a Linux to recognize the TV.
No, it's just on GitHub. Yeah. It should pick up the tab that I'm on.
You're going to need to go in your settings somewhere and get it to recognize that that's a TV there.
Okay, let's see if I can do this.
The restream has nothing to do with it going on the TV. There you go.
Are we live? Yeah. I don't know if that's me. Is that mine? Yeah, that is mine. Okay,
That should
cool.
be, like, if you drag it to the side, it should treat that as a second monitor.
Okay. use it. We have a query, and HOGPT is a hub or a base for you to train localized models, both Llama CPP and other versions, to either have it as an agent, do some type of communication-based training, or just be another companion for you to have organized documents. Pretty much treat it as a GPT 2.5. It's not fast, it's not too smart, depending on the models that you have installed, especially with...
If you send me that link, I can just throw it up here as well.
Yeah, I can.
That might make it quicker.
I have you in Slack, so...
Yeah, that's the editing machine and stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Go on.
Okay, perfect. I didn't move anything. All right, cool. So, okay, there we go. Now we can go into it. What is HOGPT able to do? We're able to interact with basic documents, both Excel, Word, video formatting. So if you wanted to do image to video formatting for having H2O talk to a tool like ComfyUI, creating a type of workflow or creating an actual JSON script workflow for ComfyUI, H2O GPT can do. So if I was able to feed it, we'll go into ComfyUI workflows later on, so we'll actually go through an example of this. If I wanted to feed H2O GPT a format or a workflow from ComfyUI and have it make 3 different versions of that workflow, it could do it very simply. What is H2O GPT ran on? We have a GPU model support, so it'll both support GGML and GGUF. So these 2 file formats are very important when interacting with a large language model. Okay, here's my mouse. Okay. So to kind of get into a basic introduction of file formats, GGML is a tensor library, basically, laid on the initial groundwork or framework of the large language model format. So every type of the popular types of large language models that we have now, they can be digested into GGML, into GGML formats, but they may not be as fast. They may not be, may not have as high or as not profitable. The token consumption may not be best. You'll burn more tokens than you get a proper output for. So you'll have a very stupid output for a vast number of tokens. Very technical term.
It's not economic.
Exactly. Yeah, it's economic or like process-wise. So it would make sense to run it now. If I have, with the access of GGML, like it wouldn't make sense to build a GGML file format and then train my models, train my large language models off. It's just not, economic, I guess you would say. But yeah, so let's kind of go into how we can install, manipulate, download. There's a one-click installer for everyone on Windows and Mac. I like messing with mine a little bit, so we have a localized computer, which we call the Cry Harder model. It's ran on a Lenovo, so it runs a very stupid version of H2O GPT, but the point is that it works on older models of older hardware with CPU only, and it also works on GPU-based hardware. So yeah, I'm like, how do I click back? The HOGP, yeah, yeah. I actually plugged in, so the workflow thing, that's what we figured it out on the Cry Harder model. So we wanted to first we wanted to get workflows on ComfyUI. I wanted to just print out 100 workflows. Workflows are like money now. It's like prompts. So if you wanted to sell prompts, you can sell workflows as well. I pretty much had HOGPT copy a workflow and then just automate different versions of how that workflow would run. So making it 3D or making it HD resolution, having it do SDXL rather than another subparameter. So
Specific, these workflows, it seems like they're focused on text and image.
yes, 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 yeah.
They mentioned that early on, they can't hear me,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely right. So a lot of these workflows are based off of text to image and video image. So my thing is like I do creative workflows. I do a lot of like creative design, creative development, like app videos formatting. So rather than having, I can automate this process. So my job is, I wouldn't say it's the first to go, but if you have someone working for the removal of certain processes within their own job, you can do it. If I didn't want to hammer out like a few hours moving a certain image in a video, I can have Comfy UI just base an iteration off of it, just keep on moving a certain data set away. Well, I'd rather not like kind of hyperbole it, so we can like go in and see. Um, yeah, yeah, no, these are amazing tools. So actually, we can actually jump in. Uh, Trying to see if I could slide this H2O GPT screen over there. It doesn't take a lot to run. Like I said before, this is a pretty old laptop. It only has one, maybe two NVIDIA GPUs in here. So at any given time, it only uses one. So it only uses one to make an output. So it's not too demanding. How would I change the slide if I want to go back?
Back to,
Yeah, if it's showing like the slides and I wanted to do like go to installation, would it show that on?
not right now.
Okay.
You're not screen sharing or anything right now.
Okay, perfect. So I can slide this.
TV.
Yeah. And it would cast and everything. Let me slide this one back so I can manipulate this. Okay.
What are you trying to do?
I want to pull up H2O GPT on here, have it do its startup process, and then slide it over.
See the actual program on here?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right now, I'm going to
Cool.
zoom out the camera. Just worrying about getting it on that TV and not about putting it on the stream.
Okay, I see what it's doing here. Okay. This is let's see, we can pull up. Oh, all my other tabs here. Okay, well. Cool, perfect.
So don't worry about screen sharing anything. Just if you put it on the TV, it's good.
Okay, okay, perfect. So. It does take up my actual laptop here. All right, we're giving it some time to start up. That's another thing that I've kind of noticed with running locally. You need to have a lot of space. You need to have some reasonable GPU cards on your computer, on your laptop. Otherwise, you'd have to run from CPU, and running that in operation or from a business, or even as like a person who has their own YouTube channel and you want to do something with it, it's not really practical. It takes too long for serious prompting. It takes too long for like serious output, something that you want to produce or show. It just takes too long. It takes way too long, like hours. So, but yeah, here we go. We can actually see how HO is set up. We'll actually, what we'll do is we'll install a large language model to mess with. Right now, there's none. We have no models. We actually have models installed on this device, but no models ran yet. Think about this as like a personal GPT. You can have it interact with certain types of documents depending on the large language model that you download or you interact with. You also have other branches of this project that give you more access, or that relinquish more access of your hardware device to the functions of the program. So if you wanted to access a C drive, if you wanted to access documents, videos, or even another user account, you can do it. Whether or not how fast it runs depends on the hard drive or hardware that you have. So let's kind of go into what we got. We have basic chat. You can set up a document selection, so where you want it to read from a certain type of document, whether or not that's a workflow document, like we said before. You can train a model. We would train a model to read a certain type of workflow, and yeah, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Everyone at home, I would definitely recommend downloading one of these. If you don't want to share your prompts or your information, or any of the results that you get from using a large language model, like from GPT or DALL-E or any of the other large ones. My biggest thing recognizing is that prompts and workflows are becoming proprietary information, so which means that I can sell a prompt to another company and have them produce any type of output for it. So if they wanted to do like a film, a cinematographic movie in 35 millimeter lens, with shot in ectochrome, with a chaos of, like, that means I want the large language model to think for itself at a degree of 30 or at a degree of 150 or whatever. If it produces a really good output, I can then sell that script, or I can sell that workflow to another company, and they can then do whatever they want with it. There are marketplaces for this. Stock Overflow. You can pretty much do a lot of things. I see a question coming from somebody really, really cool. So yeah, I don't hear it on.
Hey, so you mentioned that they're proprietary, and so that all that data is there. Is that protected by copyright? I'm just curious how legally that works, because couldn't I just buy it from you and then just like sell it to other people? That would be unethical. I wouldn't do that. I'm just thinking about if you're building this as a business, right? Shouldn't you worry about that?
Exactly right. Technically, you can. I know that certain marketplaces for selling workflows and prompts, they have regulations in place to stop you from doing that. Copying the same prompt, like how they would read a text or read a document format, you have to upload these files to. I haven't. Let's see. We can actually check. It depends on the. Yeah. Yeah, we can actually I'll slide one over. So this is just an example of some of the file formats that we use. None of these workflows are entirely mine. Some of them are, which are the coded ones, but obviously the ones with pictures you can get from a workflow. Yeah. It is. No, yeah, it's just like with images. Just like, once if I like some of my art that I produce, someone can easily put that into an image filter, get the prompt from it, and then redigest it and turn it with my same lens, same everything. So
it's cool to me that it's becoming
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, if you're a business and you use someone else's, yeah, that's why I'm an independent. Like it's different for like an independent developer or an artist. So I have really no problem with other people. My goal is for them to use my workflows. Like at the end of the day, I want to sell my workflows to be used and to be popularized. Whether or not people like remove my name from it or whatever, like that's a long term thing. But yeah,
I got a question.
yeah,
Wow, dude, you just brought something to my head right now. So you just said right now you're a developer, but also an artist, right?
yeah.
And then you're saying that you just want to share your workflows. So do you see it more just like just more like a tool set, I guess? Like just like like Picasso had his style, right? Or like some of these other artists had their style. Is that where you see this all going? Where just different developers / artists like yourself will just have their own.
Yeah. You'll have like certain artists who know how to use the AI lens really well. So there's like a certain image quality that you get when outputting an AI image. You can tell if you're around AI images a lot, you can tell the difference between an AI produced image and a regular image. Of course, the better quality that image is, the harder it is to tell. An artist can make their workflow that ideal workflow where it is very, very hard to tell whether or not an image is AI or not. That in and of itself, I would want to work on that as another artist. I may not want to, have that as my own, but I'd want to work on something.
So it's kind of like being a producer, then having so it's the same thing where everybody knows, oh, that's his sound.
Yeah, like Ableton Labs and all that.
Yeah, man, that's
exactly.
interesting.
Yeah, so one of the tools we actually use is Touch Designer, where we can import like Stable Diffusion, quote unquote workflows, very digested file formats, and then have other artists give me that set of instructions, and I can produce an image, an audio reactive image, an audio visual image, and that's like their style. Like you have really famous artists or really accredited artists like PPP Pink, who's an audio reactive artist, has a very descriptive style of art. But she sells her art on Patreon. So the idea of that sell of workflow, it's there. But it makes it easier when I can replicate like an entire build process. So not just one video, but the way you do something. Like the way that you go about producing an image, way you go about making a video, a movie, a short film. Someone can sell that. Like imagine Kubrick selling the way that he made his first video. I'm being like you can do it. Like you can that's the whole idea of like a workflow is like you can sell the way that you think. That's why making these formats, making these files on a model that is on your laptop, like that isn't connected to GPT, connected to Bing or any of the other popular or public or company-based models is very important because you're giving away that information. Like somebody who's an AI user can be very, very good at it and not know. And they're using something like Midjourney, where if you produce an image, it's posted to the public feed. So I can go on the public feed and I can see someone who's, oh man, like the images he's making are fire. Like what? I can just take your whole workflow and like that ideal of stealing isn't really, it's being facilitated by the company. Like remove yourself from it, make your own website, and then sell it yourself, rather than having someone else pick and choose the types of things that you're able to do.
That's such a different way to look at it, right?
Just one small thing to add. I mean, if it sounds like, if we're describing, would you say Kubrick selling his first video or something? Or is that, if we're at that level, then probably what you'd want to do is, like you said, build privately, perfect it if you're Kubrick, and then sell it one time for a very high price. And then it's
Exactly.
like on that person to either keep that magic and use it or, and protect it instead of it just being like, you're only selling it for a few bucks and then expecting it to scale like a, manufacturing line, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And scale it to thousands of people. Like that's probably not going to work for this type of thing if you're really serious about this, right?
Yeah, no, there are two different ends of the spectrum of it. Like you can have within the AI space, there's like internet trash, what we like to call it, is like where people are just producing a large amount of volume of images. So you see like SpongeBob like doing something illegal, or you have like Biden and I don't know, another president like kissing or something. Like people make a lot of this stuff. It's cool. It's very high like HD, but there's no like I can't really do anything with it. Like, I mean, it's very difficult to produce something with that. So there's people who like using the tool, and then there's people who like doing the Kubrick thing, where I'm master classing this workflow, and that's like, yeah, yeah. Just like how the DJs have like their flash drive around their neck, it's like you can have an entire, like, I don't know, like catalog of your favorite artist workflows. If you can even like train, like if I wanted to really do something like really crazy, you can train your large language model like off of 1,000 of like different like Picasso, Leonardo's images, his technical drawings, and you can create something very, very unique, but like it'll be the essence of your favorite, like all these raw artists. So you're touching things you may not understand, like as a person interacting with the technical aspect of it, but the art essence is still there. The science behind the art is still there. So you're able to do these very crazy things. You want to keep it to yourself, like as best as you can, and then sell. Like once you like get something that's really good, like I sell some of my art on my website. I sell workflows. Yeah, like literally, you get a head start on how to read. Like this is the workshop. So, like you get yourself a head start. You learn how to read these models, learn how to read these files, and then you sell it. So, yeah. Well, let's jump back in. So, no, we're good. I love these questions. It's great. Definitely ask more. We were kind of going into the breakdown of how to use this, but I'd rather just kind of show you guys this. This is available. You can one-click install it to your own laptop, mess with it yourself, but it's there. How would we kind of maneuver it? The basic kind of key things here is you want to go to models. You want to select a model. The bloke is probably one of my favorite model makers on Hugging Face. He makes amazing models for both textual-based use and image-based use. So he has comfy UI workflows, and then he also has these workflows where I can use for llama.cpp and other large language model-based tools. But yeah, we can choose. I'm trying to see how I can. Okay, we don't have any current model activated. It's kind of difficult doing at an angle. Like, this is a razor, but yeah. Actually, we can actually look at the specs. I can give you guys the specs after. But yeah. Yeah, locally. Trying to see if I can. I actually don't use HOGPT as often. I like another one because I made. I'll actually show it to you guys. It's later on in the presentation, so we don't get too far off base. Perfect. There we go. And you said I can just click on this and. Cool. Introduction, installation, we already went over. Basic uses, kind of. Comfy UI workflow. I think we'll touch on the text generation. Yeah, so this is the text generation web UI. That's the other tool that we use. All the major tools that I use are kind of on here, minus like really small ones. Topaz, which is like an upscaling imaging tool. A lot of the things like Lightroom, Adobe, like you have to learn how to use or be somewhat skilled to use. I don't include those, but the AI-based tools where there's some type of learning curve, you guys might as well learn how to use it now. So we'll get there. So let's kind of double back and go over the Comfy UI overview. Now this tool is one of my favorites, and I want to tip my hat to Jim over there because I've heard about Comfy UI and I knew about it just as like a tool, but I didn't get my hands on it until we started messing with the Cry Harder model. And you put it in the group chat, and I'm like, okay, this is like the third, fourth time I heard about it. Let me incentivize myself to kind of workflow it. Since that kind of meeting that we had, I would say most of the image generation projects that I've done are off of Comfy UI. So SDXL, video generation, any upscaling is done from Comfy UI workflow. So let's kind of jump into that tool. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like,
I don't even remember sending you that.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
The AI faction of
Literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just find interesting things.
Yeah, a lot of. Literally. Man, every model you guys dropped in there, I looked at, bro. I'm like, because this is really cool. This is really, really cool stuff. Like, I was always good at art. I would say good at art. I could draw, scribble, but I couldn't produce some of these works that we're about to kind of go into and teach you guys how to work through. Like, especially as like, it's one thing to make art, make AI images, which not every AI image generation is made from an artist, but an artist can make almost any AI generated image. So if you think from the lens of an artist, you're a photographer, and you use a variety of different cameras, you can make more. Exactly, exactly. If you know the vernacular for whatever field you're in, like, yep, exactly. Videography, boy. yo, that's, yeah, hey, be for real. Like, this is crazy. Like, yeah. So, let's actually click. Let's actually click on this. I'll click to kind of work you guys through the Comfy UI GitHub. Now, this GitHub is key. You want to install this main Comfy UI installer, but then you also want to get the manager. The manager allows you to access one of the private Comfy UI workflow channels. So one of the ways that I got started on Comfy UI, understanding workflows, was reading other people's workflows. Everyone else posts their workflows. If it's like, crappy generation or they're just trying to test it. So you start off by messing with their stuff and then seeing how it is. Again, the node-based interaction, similar to Cascader. Yeah, like he's got it, man. He's on it, especially with like the Bitcoin like incentive. So like doing like a node-based workflow, like, and there's different ways you can monetize this off of output interaction. If you wanted to have like some type of social type of interaction on here, kind of what Comfy UI has. It can definitely be done. I haven't experimented anything with it, which is because like Jim's kind of pioneering it, but I like seeing what he's doing there. So definitely check it out, Cascader tool. I know we have like a tab up here somewhere earlier. I'll slide it over later. But yeah, check out the UI, the GitHub. It's a one-click installer, very, very easy. Unless you want to manipulate, unless you have like a Linux or yeah. We'll actually be going into this in a few minutes, so like, yeah, we'll mess with everything. So once you download, for everyone at home or if you're watching, once you download Comfy UI, you'll be faced with this interface, this file format. So you have your main file, you have any embeddings, custom embeddings that you want. Update folder. The update folder doesn't show up immediately. You have to make sure you have the latest version of Comfy UI. The most important thing you want to do is install the manager. Comfy UI Manager is a separate tool, same organization, same group of fellow, but it adds a layer of social interaction between users. So I can access other user workflows, which is like based off of a website. I can upload my own user workflows. I can do a one-click update, install all. I can update all of my sub-models, so anything that I community downloaded, I can also update from this UI installer. So it's like, like, if I wanted to manually install, if I wanted to, like say a bug came out or something like that, I don't have to be too technical. Like I could literally just be an artist and I could do it from my site. I can do it from the tool-based web manager. So if anything, we can run it. Two different versions of running it. If I wanted to run it on the cry-harder model, I would run it from CPU. Very, very slow. Like you see, like incredibly slow. No good for SDXL. So anything you want above 4K image, garbage, garbage. So just go for a GPU. Better versioning. You can do amazing things. So it's actually running, it's loading up on this computer, but we'll slide everything over. But yeah, let's see. actually wanted to see, we'll probably access the Comfy UI workflow once it loads up and everything. We can actually go back to the slideshow and then click on our next slide. You're already doing installation, and then we're doing running right now. Good. Okay, cool. So the hands-on is when everyone wants to kind of mess with their own models. If you want to do a workflow, we'll be going through what a workflow is, how to manipulate it, and how to like change like little things, just to make it. You'll see. Just to make it very customized. Whether or not you want to do a video generation. My thing is, I've been able to make video generations. Here we go. And this is. You guys aren't supposed to see that, but you know, this is the last image generation I did. This last prompt I did. It is what it is. You know, I already sold some of these, but this is how a highly technical prompt looks like. This is what a highly technical prompt looks like. You have different levels, different vernaculars of, I painted, so I know different types of paint styles. I did photography, I know different types of photography styles, and I want an image, I want a type of formatting. It's already on.
It kind of looks like routing audio. Like when I see that, it looks like routing.
It's the same, it's the
It
same.
literally looks like that.
All this stuff is based on like
Here, let's see.
circuits, basically.
Literally.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
I don't electrical engineering.
It looks like a pedal. It looks like a pedal board, bro. Like
Can I
literally.
reorganize it for
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is crazy right now. But anyway, this is one of the models. We can generate or anything, but I really kind of want to show you guys the manager tool. This was a new addition. Having this has like changed my life. So custom models, custom nodes, like what you just saw back there, those little buckets, the boxes, those are custom nodes. If I wanted to create a custom node, which is like a set of instructions for my model or for my workflow to change the output of my image, I can create one. So resolution size, large language model processing. So if you kind of go back, you can see where we, oops, slow baby, okay. So we have an upscaler model, which is a sub model. This is a custom based model, which allows me to use SDXL and a few different quantized large language models to improve the quality of my upscaled image. Very abbreviated, very, a lot of stuff, but not too difficult. Again, a whole bunch of different models we can use. I've been SDXL, image-based. We have a video-based model here. If you wanted to do anime stuff, I do anime stuff, you know, every now and then, just to kind of test. So we can kind of go back to the manager, custom node management. All of my custom nodes are kind of, they're here. Like these are community-based. So this is like a community-based tool. Comfy UI is ran and operated and continually pushed up by its community. Like even myself, I pushed my workflows back onto the community. Just because like the community itself has offered me a lot. I've made some really cool images, so it's only right that any of my throw-off workflows that I could get away with giving up, I definitely give back to the community. So any missing custom nodes, so let's say I install a workflow and it has custom, like individual custom nodes that I don't like. I don't know user XYZ made a custom node for my stable diffusion workflow. I can install anything missing. It'll find within the web, it'll find within the database of workflows that people upload to, anything that is missing. So I'm pretty good with managing any missing nodes because I actively use this tool. So yeah, models again. So if you wanted to manually use, rather than using like, who was the original one? Atomic 111 Stable Diffusion model, I can download his model onto here. Like, which one? The file format or file name? It's probably an encoder format. Let's see. Just a different way to. I can't even enlarge that. That's another thing I don't like. I can't enlarge. It's there. Yeah. Like it'll what? Let's see what works for. Hold. Yeah, this is no. It's a PTA. Yeah, it's a path file. So there's an anime model, and then it'll convert the anime model into a path for SDXL to read, or Comfy UI now to read, if that makes sense. So before you run these large language models, you run like Stable Diffusion off of like Atomic 111 Stable Diffusion. So it only runs like different versions of Stable. You can run Dream Booth. You can do different Stable Diffusion based actions, but it wasn't really focused on like the large language model community as a whole. The thing that Comfy UI does is they take everything like user community, developers, they all put them on one platform. So if I wanted to develop something, I would use Comfy UI to develop a workflow, unless I wanted to do like VS Code and like actually manually code a workflow, which we'll actually go into later on. Like how do I want to manipulate a workflow? We'll actually probably be able to update all. So anyway, we can do like an update all instance. I won't do it manually right now. It'll update all of my Comfy UI. So update all different from Comfy UI. So if I just want to update my tool, it'll update it. If I want to update the tool and then in my models and my nodes all together, it'll be able to do it. Again, Atomic 111 is probably one of the most foundational tools that we've been using to create Stable Diffusion images. Their original UI was like groundbreaking. So a lot of tools that came after Atomic 111, they reference a lot of the workflows, a lot of the tools that we use. If we wanted to probably go into, let's see, the custom DB is currently being updated. Okay, yeah, I'm probably an update right now. Okay, we'll let it update. I just wanted to see if there's anything that we do before we mess with an actual workflow. If it stops running, then that would kind of suck. But all this runs, like, you know, the restart, like the way that they coded this was very, really, really, really cool. Of course we develop here, like it's like, what? You have like the restart in here. I could do it all from like the web. What? This is awesome, man. So like it's having like, and putting it in a one-click installer too, which is amazing. Like we've been dealing with like a lot of tools like early on, like Stable Diffusion tools where you had to know how to use like file manager. You had to know how to interact with the command line. You had to know a lot about coding and the hardware that you're on. But what the next level, level of AI tools, large language model tools, is they are starting to remove the need to be technically like proficient. I don't need to know how to find my update folder like we showed before. I don't need to know how to find that update folder, call it into PowerShell. So don't throw rocks. So I don't need to know how to call it into like PowerShell or something and manually update it via folder. There's a button that you can click. Like all of these, they make it very, very easy for the non-technical person. So an artist, a business major, creative, they're able to mess with this tool just as someone like myself who like I use it every day. We're able to do the same things at the end of the day, the exact same things. It just depends on how well you prompt engineer. If you wanted to use H2O GPT to write like an embedding tool, if you wanted to write a node, I need you to build a node for my Comfy UI workflow. This is my Comfy UI workflow. Read this document. I want this tool to produce output XYZ. It'll do it for, you know, maybe it depends on how good you prompt. My prompts I have a lot of faith in my prompts, so it usually takes like 2 or 3 iterations to run something, and then it'll make a pretty good workflow. But anyway, we can kind of go to the community-based workflow gallery, so we can see. Let's do. These are all really good ones, but let's go to Comfy UI specific for our workflow needs. Of course, my little avatar up here, but these are just some images. This is very creative, but like I use it for art as well, but you can use it for prototyping, mapping, button layout, button management. If you want a unique type of image, high res, high quality, you can do it. Like these are all AI generated images. These are like actual workflows. I probably won't download any of these because they're kind of like mid. Like that's the thing. Like they're really good. These are good art, you know, amazing art. But like you only upload workflows you wouldn't want anyone to, you know, you would want someone else to use. But I wouldn't upload a workflow that I want to keep to myself. But let's kind of show that. So how would we manage, or how would we interact with like a workflow? So like, what is that? we can actually load a series of workflows to show you the difference of formatting. So I hate this view. Okay. I like pictures. If you can't tell, I like pictures with my stuff. So different types of workflow. I don't think I have any of my work ones here. 3D video. So that one's kind of a work one. So we'll use this workflow to produce 3D videos for prototypes. So we'll embed an image on top of an iPhone, whether it be like a series of buttons, a screen, a series of screens, and then we'll have the Stable Diffusion tool create a prototype video, 30 seconds, just, I don't know, in a few minutes. If you go on Project Lazarus, our Instagram, our videos that we make on there are any of the 3D edited videos, any of the 3D videos that you see on there, they're made with this type of workflow. So I don't have to, I would have to in the past, I would go to Fiverr, I would go to an artist that I knew, I'd pay $500, $700, or I'd learn it myself. I didn't want to do that anymore, so I would rather have AI do it for me. So very digested versioning of this. So let's kind of go into this workflow. Again, acrylic and oil, anyway, you could like print these out on metal, on canvas. There are robots that'll paint these for you. So like, it's insane. It's literally insane now. This is a decent workflow. Doesn't really give me a good image output. But anyway, like I can have a workflow that was downloaded from the ComfyUI marketplace, like one of these two. I haven't really tested these out yet. Let's test one of these just to see how it does. Okay, cool. Incredibly complicated. Some of these can get really, really messy. Really, really messy. Okay, cool. So what type of sampler does it use? Like how do we actually like make these things work? Steps is important. How many steps you have, how many steps you want the tool to make the image or to take to make the image. Very important. CFG scale. How far you want it to think. How creative do you want your AI image to think or be close to the prompting tool? All very important parameters. All very, very, very important. I guess, see how many other individual nodes. We won't be going over how to make this workflow. That'll probably be another, that's another, how to make a workflow is an entirely other beast to conquer. But you load your checkpoint, you load your model checkpoint, you run it through a few different encoders. Now, something we were talking about before was the node encoders. That's what you have to use for kind of telling your ComfyUI model, your SDXL model, how to act. So if you want your SDXL model to, again, produce a giant image, or if you wanted to produce a series of images within a certain seed, you would need to create a node that does that. Again, like other tools like Touch Designer, Blender somewhat, more like node-based tools. If you come from that background, you'll be able to kind of pick this up easily. Like some of these guys, I know in Touch Designer, it's like a tab. You press tab and it'll open up the interface. I manually write the workflows, which is, I find it to be easier to write them in JSON. Yeah, so, because then what you can do is you can literally copy your workflow. Like you can copy this. Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, someone's messing with it. Literally. Yup. But what is a node? Oh, okay. I'd rather write my first node. What type of image do I want? What policies do I want to run? This one doesn't have too many individual models on here. This is probably, what is this? A basic one. This is Connoisseur. Let me exit this one. I put that one in there. Yeah, it's open. It's open. You feed in text, you get out image, video, sound. Any of the three and all in one if you want. That's the thing. You could do, yeah. So that's the thing. You can use a tool like 11 Labs, or you can use any audio-based tool, create a node for it, For Comfy UI, that's why like sharing nodes and then releasing nodes, that's again like proprietary. So if I wanted to make an 11 Labs node that receives audio, your audio, and then digests it and turns it into a text to speech for a video, or whatever, like no one else has, like other people have done that, but the way that it runs, the way that you set it up, like you'd have to share it for other people to know how you did it. Like there's no set model now. Like there's no, like I can't go on 11 Labs and have it run solely from my computer and then just output 100 voice images, voice image prompts. I can auto set my Comfy UI model to run, let's see where we have like 100, 200 versions. Let's see, how many ones can it go up to? Q prompt. Okay, this is a different one. So maybe let's use one of mine. I'll just use one of mine. Just to kind of keep it from being confusing or anything. But I can have it run 200, 300 iterations, and it would run overnight. Like I can have my laptop run just like how you would mine Bitcoin. You'd have it mine, like I mine from home. I like mining them. I like literally having my machines run 12 hours a day. This laptop would be another laptop would be one that also runs 12, 13, 14 hours a day, making images, and I would again filter through them, or have somebody else filter through them just to find the best workflow to do what I'm trying to do. I think that's kind of what I wanted to touch on for at least Comfy UI. So I don't want to take up too much time. Let's close this one. Will this one give me a? Okay, cool. This won't give me an output. While that one's loading, we can go back to running Comfy UI. Cool. All right, we were able to run through it. So hands-on sessions, walk around model help. So I don't know if anyone was messing with the models on their own. If you want to, if you're at home, or if you want to kind of do this yourself, there are resources at the end of this presentation that have pre-built GGUF models that you can directly put into Comfy UI. So there's maybe two that I referenced earlier. The bloke who makes really, really good, or very good workflows for doing image creative design, image generation, and then also one for prototyping. You're able to use at the end of this presentation. For those who are kind of sitting here now, we can show you that. Finding my mouse is like impossible. I'm like, whoa. Okay, here we go. Okay, we can skip that. Are you gonna let me click? Ooh. Okay. I think it's refreshing. Okay. So when I run, here's another downside. This is a pretty powerful laptop, but as you could tell, we started our Comfy UI workflow, and it's already messing up my other processes. If you wanted to see right now, it's actually loading a series of models. I can actually, let's see if I can show you guys what we're dealing with. But it'll build something like this, like while we're running. So it'll touch every transformer-based model. You can see all the steps that it took while it was running in the background. You need a reasonably powerful laptop to run this. So text generation web UI. This will be another really cool text-based tool. So this is the alternative to the H2O GPT. This is the one that I use for everything from building new workflow ideas to just testing out the lengths and limits of new GGUF models. Don't really have to delve too deep into it. We can kind of run laps around that for forever. But yeah, everyone who kind of wants to manage this from home, I have all these.
We'll put the links in the show notes.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. I'm like definitely interactive. The one thing I learned last time from our last one is that there was a lot of technical questions on like where's the GitHub and like where do we kind of interact with these things if they wanted to do it locally.
Are there any questions on the restream?
Generative models, this is another really cool tool. So again, SDXL, the Stable Diffusion video generation, 4K quality, comes from Stability AI models. So if you wanted to mess with that locally, here it is. We can definitely click through all these things forever. Again, another really cool tool, self-operating computer by other sides. So if you wanted to see how a self-operating computer would work on your laptop, you can have it open the internet, you can have it write an email. I don't know, I can have it text my mom, whatever. So this is the limits of large language models where we're at right now. It's pretty cutting edge. Some people have actually combined the self-operating computer with Comfy UI. So they created like a one-click installer model. I do not trust it, just because this is a lot of access to your computer. You're allowing someone else's program to have full operating access of your computer. So mouse control, keyboard control, webcam control. So be very careful. But you can have it pretty much automate. You can self-automate a computer. I tried to set this up on the Cry Harder model, but I think I was running. This is when you need like GPU or like more memory, because I was running into a limit for how many processes I can have active at one time. And this self-operating computer, it runs a lot of processes to do one thing. So to have it control your mouse and click on Google is like 10 to 11 processes. So it's like move the mouse, know where it's reading the screen. So it's a lot of stuff. So you need a pretty powerful, reasonably powerful laptop to run it. But it's good to see how it works as a tool if you want to use it yourself, if you want to. Oh, which one? I don't know. I don't know Captain Stacks too much, but I mean, yeah. Oh, this is it. Okay, cool. But yeah, this is the end of the presentation. Of course, a lot of the stuff that we do with large language and I would say more interact to earn Bitcoin integration is with Project Lazarus. Off the map entertainment is where you'll find how we do video generation, text generation. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. Conclusion for it, yeah. Cool, and the resources too. So you get the bloke casual, a good little prompt engineering template, so a little cheat sheet that you guys get for how to prompt engineer. Yeah, there you go. I didn't want it to be too long. I felt that I was pulling eyes at certain points, so definitely